we worship God. Already, it's been super exciting. As songs are being sang, praises to God, it's been incredible already. You know, God is moving in a powerful way. I'm super excited to see my cousin Cherise here from Baltimore, Maryland. She's traveling on vacation. She says, and I just came from a funeral about a couple weeks ago. My stepdad died, and she was at the funeral. She says, you know, Anthony, cuz I want to come out there and visit you. I'm, coming out in Florida. I'm like, sure, come on out. She's one of the first people to come out here since we've been here about a year and a half to come visit us, so I'm super fired up. And so I wanted to put that out on tape so that when the other brothers and sisters, my family see it, they'll see and inspire them to come out too. Because, they should be out here, amen? So it was just cool to have you here, and I hopefully you enjoyed everything, and God's going to work powerfully, amen? But it's been a great, guys. Today I'm going to preach on a topic that is very prevalent. You probably heard the terminology, sold out, right? You heard that, right? Yep. Sold out, remember sold out? Disciple movement, amen? The title lesson is simply that completely sold out disciples. Amen, guys? Completely sold out disciples. There are lots of stadiums every now and then that sold out, right? There's no more seats left. As disciples, we are sold out. The only thing we have is Jesus. Amen, guys? There's nothing else to put in the place of Jesus. So we are sold out. That's who we are. That's who we should be. And today is going to be great. Let's go ahead and open our Bibles to Luke chapter 9.
Come on, bro.
Luke chapter 9.
Amen.
Let's go ahead and start at verse 18. I've got 3 points for you. First point is simply, Jesus was completely sold out. Amen?
Amen. Come on, Jesus.
Again, that's Luke 9, 18. It says, once when Jesus was praying in private, and his disciples were with him, he asked them, who do the crowds say I am? They replied, some say John the Baptist, others say Elijah, and still others that one of the prophets of the law has come back to life. But what about you, he asked. Who do you say I am? Peter answered, God's Messiah. Throughout history, many years, the resurrected prophet and the deliverer was desired for centuries. People wanted to know, they heard, they saw the prophecies. They wanted to know who the Messiah was. But when Jesus finally was in the play as he walked in his ministry, they began to see the miracles. They began to see the compassion. They began to see just the thriving ministry. But Jesus told them, listen, I'm going to die, and I'm going to die and be buried and resurrected from the dead on the third day. But they did not understand it. Jesus tells them in verse 22, he tells them, and he said, the Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected by the elders, the chief priests, and the teachers of the law, and he must be killed and on the third day be raised to life. Then he said to them, whoever wants to be a disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross daily and follow me. Whoever wants to save their life will lose it. But whoever loses their life for me will save it. There has always been a desire to find out who this resurrected prophet who's going to die and be resurrected from the dead, the deliverer. Many did not understand. They saw the miracles. They saw the love. But somehow when Jesus told them, I'm going to die, they didn't get it. They didn't believe it. Because they could only see the miracles. They could only see what's in front of them. And so sometimes for us, it's hard for us to see that Jesus died and resurrected from the dead. How do I know that? I know that because when life and challenges are difficult for us, we take our eyes off of Jesus and we forget that he resurrected from the dead. That we serve a God who resurrected from the dead. That is the power of God.
Yeah.
And it's so easy for us to take our focus off of the resurrected Messiah. He tells them, you know, anyone come after me, they must deny themselves. It's one of the most challenging things in scriptures in the Bible. Because by nature, we can be selfish. We can be selfish men and women who are so focused on our own agendas in our lives that again, we take our eyes off of Jesus. The question I have for you this morning, have you taken your eyes off of Jesus this week? What has your week been like? Have you gone out, just, you know what, I'm going to go out and I'm just going to have this incredible quiet time.
Come on, Anthony.
I'm going to go out and I'm going to spend some quality time with God. And I'm not going to leave this quiet time until I'm different.
That's right. Come on.
See, that's a quiet time.
That's
guys.
right.
You have a quiet time, you don't leave it until you and I are different.
Come on. Right. Amen.
Deny yourself. I'm going to go out. I don't want to share my faith today. And I know I need to share my faith today. But I'm going to go out and I'm going to share my faith with as many people as possible until I get their telephone number and get them committed to studying the Bible on the spot.
Yeah. Come on, Anthony.
You see, that's sold out disciples, guys.
Yeah.
Sold out disciples. I know that there's a brother or sister in the church this week. Today, after I've spent time with the Lord and I have filled myself up so I can go out to battle, I'm going to go encourage a brother and sister who's weak and they're struggling with their faith. And I'm going to go build them up. I'm going to take them by the hand and I'm going to walk with them and love them. See, guys, that's sold out disciples.
Yeah.
Many did not understand. Jesus tells them in Matthew chapter 5, verse 3, tells the people in the Sermon on the Mount. He says, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Do you recognize your spiritual poverty and see your need for God's help?
Amen. Come on.
Do you see that, guys? Do you see that you need spiritual help in areas that you're weak in? In areas that you have not been able to conquer?
Come on.
That maybe you're struggling with your faith in that area of your life. And you're like, God, give me the strength. Give me the enthusiasm to overcome this weakness. But guess what? God can help you. Through your challenges of life. You see, being a sold out disciple requires denying yourself on a daily basis. I get the sense that sometimes we aren't into denying ourselves. You know, living the Christian life is not easy. It is not easy at all. You know, 28 years as a disciple, it is not easy. But you know, it's interesting. When you are able to overcome those challenges, those opportunities that God gives us through those challenges, you become stronger. You become more faithful. It's so easy to give up, right? We got a nation that full of people who just give up. Because they want the comfortable way. They want the comfortable way out. See, being sold out is not comfortable. You know, it's interesting. When you want a girlfriend, you'll make sure you cut. If you want a girlfriend, the brothers comb their hair, right? You brush your teeth, right? Right. You make sure you get deodorant on, right? Right? If the sisters are interested in a brother, their hair's done. They lightly put on their makeup just enough to get someone to look, that person to look, right? Let's be honest, right? You know, and you make sure that you're at your best, right? Like we all have these things that we enjoy, that we're passionate about. There's one sister, you can't get a lot out of her. But when you talk about the movies, all of a sudden, she just explodes. It's like, whoa! And my wife says, sis, I've never seen you so zealous. That's incredible. If you just take that zeal enthusiasm about the movies, oh my goodness, you would be one of the most incredible disciples on the planet. You can do this. So I know you can do it because you were just excited about that Avengers movie, amen?
Come on. Come on.
And so I know, we've got people, there's a lot of passions, a lot of, you guys are sold out in areas that we had no idea. No idea. But once we see it, and if you show us that you have a passion in something, but you're lacking passion and being sold out in your personal spirituality,
Come on, bro.
then I know that there's something wrong. There's a double standard here. As disciples, we can't have a double standard.
Yeah.
You're sold out for the movies. You're sold out to get a girlfriend. You're sold out to get married. You're sold out for chocolate ice cream, or buttercream ice cream, or chocolate cake. I mean, you're sold out to something, right? If I went around the room and asked you what you're sold out for,
Yeah.
outside of your spirituality, I bet you'd be able to boom. Your eyes pop up, you burst out, look like your eyeballs popping out of your head because you're so fired up.
Come on.
Why not being sold out for the Messiah,
Come on, Anthony.
dying
Yeah.
and resurrecting from the dead?
Amen. That's right. Come on.
See, you got to understand the double standard there, guys.
Yeah.
We got double standard in the church. We get fired up about our own agenda, right?
Yeah.
We got some artists in here. You get fired up. We got all kinds of people. We got people who like to dance. I mean, you see Ben dancing, doing her samba and cha cha dance. She's fired up, but Ben is also fired up spiritually. So here's the thing. She doesn't have a double standard in that. Okay, guys? She's fired up to be a salsa dancer, but she's fired up in the ministry too. Amen, guys? And so that's why we've got to transform this idea and be sold out to everything. Amen, guys?
Amen.
And guess what? If you were sold out to everything, and everybody saw you were passionate about everything, what would the world be like?
Preach
Wow.
it.
What
Come
would your personal ministry be like?
Yeah.
If they saw, man, this guy is passionate about everything. When
That's
he eats
right.
that chocolate cake, look at the passion. When Anna eats that rice and beans, she's passionate when she eats those rice and beans. You know what I mean?
Saints game.
When me and Dr. Sloan watch the Saints game, we are passionate about that. You know what I'm saying? But see, I know that there's no double standard with me, right? And I know that there's no double standard with Mr. Sloan, amen? And if there's a double standard, then he and I are going to get together and we're going to work that out. Right? It's going to be awesome. Especially when he comes down and we get to watch the Saints game in Tampa together, amen? And so he gave me that promise. I hope I'm still living and I'm still around. So I'm praying for the Lord that we'll be able to do that. It'll be an awesome time. But Jesus says, guys, we got to know ourselves. Are you living a double standard? Or are you sold out? Okay, guys, we got to get that right. Amen, guys? We've got to get it. Do you see the poverty in your spiritual life?
Yeah.
Do you see your need for God? If we all saw our need for God's help on a daily basis, what would the church look like? What would your prayer life look like? Unstoppable. Prayers that moves the hearts of the people that you study the Bible with. Evangelism would be over the top. You would be evangelizing everything that walks, everything that goes around, because you are so passionate you love God. Guys, you're not far from that. If you are not far from that. Jesus says, Bible says, Paul says, we can do everything through him who gives us strength. Philippians 4:13, right? If God can give us this, then why can't he transform your lives? He can make you a humble man and humble woman. He can make you a thriving man in your life. He can help you to create miracles through his word, through your faith. Your purity. Your purity would be astounding. Awesome. When people look at your life, they go, man, look at the purity of her life. Look at the purity of his life. I desire that. There's not an inkling of lust in his or her eyes because their eyes are focused in on Jesus.
Come on.
That's the passion, guys. See, guys, if we can just take our eyes off of ourselves and really focus in on Jesus, God, you will do incredible things.
That's right. Preach it.
Some people they don't want to keep hearing the same old thing, right? You don't want me to preach on the same thing, right? You don't want to hear the same thing. I'm going to preach on this stuff until you get it. Because you need it. You know what I mean? I want to preach on something different than evangelism. Evangelism always needs to be preached because people struggle with it.
Yep.
I want to be able to preach on, hey, the purity, other than something purity. You got to be pure in your life. We need this.
Yep.
Amen.
You need this. I need this.
Yes.
Discipline. Your discipline, when you focus on Jesus, your discipline will be outstanding. You won't have a struggle getting up in the morning at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. in the morning. I appreciate Jeff. Jeff and Miguel and I've been praying every morning
Amen.
at 6:30 a.m.
Amen.
And it was funny because even yesterday, Miguel, last night, we were talking on the phone. Miguel is studying the Bible. Lord willing, he'll get baptized. Lord willing, this week sometime. Amen. He's rocking and rolling. He's working it out. He's an incredible young man. But Miguel was like, man, yeah, I overslept on Saturday morning. And I feel bad because I missed that prayer time to 6:30. I said, no, it's just Monday through Friday for us. He's like, oh, cool, awesome. All of a sudden, he was like, oh, whew, it's awesome. But see, that's the attitude because he's sold out. He just needs to get the water baptism, amen? Amen. Have his sins forgiven. And so it's awesome, and I really appreciate it. I appreciate Jeff. Jeff wanted to take Mike Robillard. And he took Mike Robillard, he took Miguel out yesterday on Bay Shore, and they just went running. Jeff, he's 62 years old. He gets out there, and he ran up and down Bay Shore every week.
Wow.
And it's funny because some of the young guys can't handle it. Little Mikey is like, I don't really want to run. I can't handle this. This is the team. It's like he's got a team can't handle a 62-year-old. Come on here. Really. Guys, Jeff is sold out. Amen. That's what I'm talking about. When I get 62 years, I want to be like Jeff. I want to be like Jeff. I want to have the energy of Jeff. Guys, because most 62-year-olds don't have that kind of energy. This guy runs marathons. You know what I'm saying, guys? That's what I want to become, and I hope I can get there real quick, bro. Because I'm getting older. My son messes with me all the time and says, Dad, you haven't been in the gym in months. You ought to go. He just puts me under the bars, Oh, I do work out. I do lawn maintenance and apple trees. I take out the garbage, which you're supposed to be doing. I do a lot of those things. What are you talking about, son? I live with an amazing wife. She keeps me working all the time. Do you see why my muscles are so strong? So I do work out. I just work out differently than you do. You know what I mean? But that's what it's all about, guys. We got to be sold out. We got to be purposeful. We've got to be men and women who are unselfish when it comes to the cause of Christ. Amen? We must avoid any selfish and unhealthy pride that inhibits a genuine humility and growth spiritually, numerically, through being denying ourselves on a daily basis. What happens, guys, when we don't deny ourselves, it hinders us from spiritual growth. And you ever seen people, guys, where they've been around for quite a while, but there's just some things that just doesn't change sometimes. You know what I mean? Like the same stuff is going on. You know what I mean? Like there's some point where we got to move on to maturity, right? Everybody wants to move on to maturity. We can't move on into maturity if we're struggling with the same thing year after year, day after day, year after year.
Come on.
Because when that happens, eventually you fall in. That's happening. I don't want to be a downer, but that's just the reality, guys. Like for me, if I stop growing, I'm going to be afraid. I am going to be absolutely afraid because disciples are not supposed to stay here.
Right.
You should be growing every year. There should be evidence in your life.
Yes.
How are you ever going to get married?
Come on, talk about it.
Brothers, how are you going to get married, brothers? No sisters are going to want nobody who's not growing, right? Sisters, how are you going to get married? How you get married if you're emotional and you don't trust God, right? How you get married?
Come on, Andy.
No brother's going to want to take care of some emotional sister. No sister's going to want to meet somebody who's not growing and not maturing and growing. We've got to continue to grow.
Amen.
I would be afraid.
Yep.
If you are hurting and you're still struggling with the same thing and 10 people tell you the same thing, I would be afraid. We got to keep growing, guys.
Amen.
But here's the cool thing. through His grace and mercy, you can grow.
Come on.
That's
I can
right.
grow. Amen, guys?
Yeah.
Amen.
And that's what you got to be able to stick to. You got to be able to grow. Be
Yeah.
sold out disciples. Hey,
Amen.
Jesus was completely sold out, guys.
Amen.
He was completely sold out. I appreciate all the sharing with the sisters there. And you know, it's interesting. You notice I had the sister sharing, right?
Yeah.
And there were brothers who were supposed to share, but they missed the memo.
Oh.
The memo. That's why we have this great thing called Messenger. You know, that's why you got to look at the Messenger app. Because that's the only way that I communicate with the whole group effectively, instead of going through 30-something people and calling each of you one by one. You see what I'm saying, guys? And so I want to encourage you, if you have the Messenger app, you need to look on it, because you're probably not going to get the important announcements. Amen, guys?
Amen.
And so if you are not on Messenger, you better get on there, because no one is going to be able to tell you these things, and so you're going to miss the boat. Amen, guys?
Amen.
And so we're a unified church, so I want to encourage you to make sure you get on board. Amen? Is Jesus' priority your priority?
Come on.
If it is, it will show by your life, your purity, the impact you're making on other people's lives.
Amen.
That's the bottom line, guys. If Jesus is your priority, it will show through your life. You know, are you making an impact?
Amen.
Is it evident in your life that you're making an impact?
Come on.
I know you desire it. Everybody desires it.
Yeah.
There's no disciple that doesn't desire. If you're visiting for the first time and you're wondering what this is all about, we got some incredible disciples who will be able to sit down with you and study out the Bible to be able to help you to
Yeah.
see what this impact that you can make. You may not have dreamed of yourself being able to make an impact. You may not have seen yourself being able to make an impact in the lives of people, but you can do it.
Amen.
There is a great need
Come
for it.
on.
If you want to do great things, you got to be willing to pay the price.
Come on, girl.
If you want a great job, you got to be willing to pay the price to be disciplined and work hard. If you want to hit special missions, it takes hard work, and hard work. If you want a husband and wife, you got to pay the price and get a life.
Yeah.
You desire to be close to God, but aren't willing to pay the price. Pray, read your Bible, confess your sins each day, and stay here. It will happen.
Amen.
Yes.
Jesus paid the price. He laid His life down on the cross. As we go back to the text in Luke chapter 9, He simply said, in verse 22, and He said, the Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected by the elders, chief priests, and the teachers of law, and He must be killed on the third day. See, Jesus knew He needed to pay the price so that you and I can have a relationship with God.
Amen.
Sometimes we look at that and we just don't see the evidence in our own lives. Sometimes when we focus on ourselves, we can't see Jesus.
Yeah.
It's time to start looking at Jesus more than we look at ourselves. Amen? You know, it's been really cool because Thursday night we studied out the cross study with Miguel. And we looked at clips of the Passion. And the visuals of that movie was so amazing. Some people, he'd never saw the Passion before. That's amazing of people who have never seen that movie. But there was probably the most graphic, the most intense scenes that you'd ever seen in Jesus' cross. And it really emulates, I really believe, in what it really looked like.
Yeah.
And maybe it was even more horrific. I don't know, I wasn't there. But if you have not have seen that movie, I want to encourage you to take a look at it. If your heart is hardened, I want to encourage you to sit down and watch that movie.
Amen.
Watch that movie, and I guarantee you that it will soften your heart.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
It will soften your heart, help you to remember why you became a disciple, helping you to remember your first love.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, guys. Amen?
Amen.
That's what it's all about. You got to take up your cross. What does it mean to take up your cross? Facing that horrible, terrible cross, humiliation of this Roman crucifixion, because during this time it was the culture they lived. And it was hard. In the same way that Jesus carried His cross, we've got to carry our own cross.
Yeah.
And so when you go through your struggles, you got to remember Jesus carrying that cross. It was intense, you know, it was bloody, it was rough. But you got to remember also, the cross He carried wasn't the bigger cross than what you're carrying right now.
Yeah.
Would you like to be in Jesus' place?
No.
Probably not. Probably not. We wouldn't last. And so believe me, your cross is probably a little easier than His.
No.
You know, and He wanted to make sure that the pain was there. You know, look at the movie, I was thinking, you know, I mean, there was a part in the segment of the movie where, you know, they started flogging him with the, you know, a little flog. Then he got up. He got up. It wasn't enough. These guys were worn out because they'd been whacking on his back, his head. He got up from this. An ordinary man wouldn't have got up from this flogging. And so they have to go a little deeper. They cut into the back, cut into the glass, you know, cat of nine tails. glass wrapped around the leather thongs, and going into his skin and ripping out the meat of his back and his body.
Yeah.
These guys were intense.
Yeah.
Why did Jesus do it? Because he saw beyond what we see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're here today because Jesus was nailed to the cross.
Yeah.
He wanted to feel every single inch of pain that was due to him for you and I. And when I think about that, I go, wow. He did not want anything.
Yeah.
Even if he was tempted, and like, this is enough, he's like, no, deny myself. I got to take more. This is not enough. I've got to endure more. People have got to see that if I can endure this, it will move the hearts of the people.
Yeah.
And for centuries to come,
Yep.
they will remember my name.
Yeah.
And you are witnesses to that death, burial, and resurrection today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope that helps our heart, guys.
Yeah.
You know, you got to fight. You've got to fight the good fight. You can't give up. You've got to persevere.
Yeah.
You know, we've got to give wholeheartedly to the missions, guys.
Yeah. Come on, boy.
The mission to love people deeply. The mission to meet the needs of our third world cities. The mission to love your local church and your brothers and sisters here. You know, John chapter 10, verse 11. Turn there.
Come on, girl.
Amen.
And this is who we've got to become and continue to work toward. John chapter 10, verse 11 through 13. This is Jesus speaking. He says, I am the good shepherd, and the good shepherd lays down his life for his sheep. The hired hand is not the shepherd and does not own the sheep. So when he sees the wolf coming, he abandons the sheep and runs away. Then the wolf attacks the flock and scatters it. The man runs away because he is the hired hand and cares nothing for the sheep.
Wow.
Yeah.
The question is, are you a hired hand or are you a good shepherd?
Come on. Preach it.
Are you a hired hand or are you a good shepherd?
Remember.
Are you the one that when challenges come, you're ready to run and hide? No one knows where you are. You're in your own cave. No one can get a hold of you because you're hiding. Because the going is getting tough. Or are you that good shepherd? You say, you know what? I love my family. I love my church. I love my brothers and sisters. I'm going to hang in there because I know that it's not about man, it is about God.
Yeah.
It is about God. I'm never going to fall away from God.
Come on.
Never, ever. See, when people fall away because they're man focused.
Yeah.
They're not God focused, right? Because this is shared in the good news that of the restoration of cotton, right? People fall away, it's all about man. It's got to be about God. Are you the hired hand? Are you the good shepherd that lays down your life for the sheep? Are you willing to lay your life down? If you lay your life down, you're not going to run away, hide in the cave. You're going to love people the way Jesus loved you and I.
No.
That's what it's all about, brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
It's challenging for some disciples to share their faith on a daily basis. It's challenging sometimes to do fundraisers to save a life. You know, it's challenging sometimes to rely on prayer in good times and challenging times. It's challenging to show up to a Bible study even when it's not convenient for you.
Yeah.
That's where we've gone. We've gone. You know, it's not convenient for me, so let Anthony do all the Bible studies on campus.
Oh, no.
It's not convenient to me, let Chris do all the Bible studies on campus. You know, I've had to get non-Christians to help me lead studies.
Wow.
To take notes. That's a true story, guys. I had non-Christians sitting with me taking notes for me. Okay, guys? That's where it goes, guys. If we're not focused, we are disciplined, and we don't plan.
Yeah.
You guys with me here? I need your help. We need each other's help.
Right.
I don't want to be in the Bible study by myself. I want your faith to be encouraged just as much as mine.
Amen.
You know what I mean? When we're in the Bible studies with people, it encourages your faith. It helps you to see what you don't want to be like when you study with other people, right?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying, guys?
Yeah.
It keeps you faithful. You go, man, thank God I'm not like that anymore.
Yeah.
And now, so I want to go ahead and give to them now.
Yeah.
See, that's why I love studying the Bible, guys. Are you passionate about studying the Bible, people? Because if you are, you'd be in Bible studies every day.
Amen.
And if you're not in Bible study every day, you'd be looking to study the Bible with someone every day.
Yeah.
You gotta be passionate, you gotta get it back. Some of us on the mission team, guys, listen.
Come on, bro.
Have you forgotten you're on the mission team?
Come on, bro.
No way. Come on.
Amen.
You can't forget that.
Yep.
Why are you here? You're here because God called you in to do something great.
Yes.
But you let your priorities, you let your standard, you let your personal agenda interfere with the mission of God.
Come on, bro.
Come on.
No more.
Yep.
No more. We got to get radical.
Amen.
You want to see your best friend become a disciple?
Yes.
You want to see your classmates become disciples?
Yes.
You want to see your employees, co-workers become disciples?
Yes.
Then you got to put in your heart
Yeah.
the heart of Jesus and understand you're on the mission field.
Amen. Come on.
Brothers and sisters in India, Shania, Africa, they are dying to have what you have.
Yeah.
They are longing to have what you have. If they can just drink your water.
Yeah.
My wife didn't mention this, but in India, you can't even drink. You have to watch the water that you drink.
Yeah.
The showers are dark. The water that comes out of the shower. It's sometimes, in the very nice hotels, the water is black. One of the brothers got him in the shower. Oh, what is this? He's not used to water coming out dark.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, what is this? Ooh. You know what I mean? So you gotta be grateful and understand what you have. Clear, chlorine water.
Yeah.
Drinkable water.
Yeah.
See, that's what it's about, guys. See, when you give up your life and you lay it, that's sold out.
Yeah.
That's sold out. You know, unfortunately, I haven't even got to point number 2. But that's okay. That's okay, because I'm not going to go to point number 2. Because I am going to continue to preach the word. Amen?
Amen.
Look over in Mark chapter 8.
Amen.
Come on, Anthony.
Hopefully you're convicted enough. You probably don't need to hear it anymore. And you're encouraged as well.
Amen.
Mark chapter 8, verse 31. The Bible says, then he began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected by the elders and chief priests and teachers of the law, and he must be killed in 3 days. It's like a parallel from the last one, right?
Mm-hmm.
He spoke plainly about this, and Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. But when Jesus turned and looked at his disciples, he rebuked Peter, "Get behind me, Satan!" He said, "You do not have the mind and the concerns of God, but merely human concerns." You see, guys, listen. You let nothing interfere with the purpose that God has given you.
Yeah.
Jesus had a conviction. When Peter tried to deter Jesus from what Jesus was trying to do, he rebuked him.
Yeah.
He says, "You do not understand. I must die.
Yeah.
I must die and resurrect. If I am not able to do that, the world will be lost."
Yeah.
We cannot let our own agenda hinder the purpose that Jesus has given us.
Yeah. Come on, bro.
He was willing to suffer. The people hated Jesus, the most of the religious people at that time. Not the pagans. Jesus was willing to go all the way to the cross for you and I. Are you willing to go all the way to the cross for your brothers and sisters, for this lost world? Matthew 27.
Amen.
Matthew 27, verse 45. Then he returned to his disciples and said to them, "Are you still sleeping and resting? Look, the hour has come. The Son of Man is delivered into the hands of sinners. Rise, let us go. Here comes my betrayer." Jesus suffered an incredible on the cross 9 hours prior to getting beaten, flogged, mocked, hated by the religious leaders. Does the death, burial, and resurrection impact your life enough? The desire, if you're visiting, to have your sins forgiven. You know, he gets up and he wanted the support of his disciples, and he found them sleeping.
The question is, are you sleeping? Are you sleeping in your ministry? Is it that difficult for you to get up 6 o'clock in the morning and pray to your Father? Why it's still dark? See, they were sleeping because they didn't understand. We sleep because we don't understand the charge that God has given us for Tampa. And
Come
beyond.
on, preach it.
I can't wait to raise up regional leaders.
Amen.
I'd like to be able to get somebody up here that when I call you to preach, you preach.
Amen.
You are ready to preach the word. I appreciate Chris Schultz.
Come on.
Chris James is always ready to preach. He's leading our Kingdom Kids, leading our teen class right now. In the other room.
Amen. Come on.
I called Chris to preach. Chris is boom. He's ready to go. He's already got a message on his heart. I need, man, if I call you to preach next week, you got a message on your heart.
Come on.
Because you have good quiet times.
Amen.
Because you put it upon yourself to have a message of Christ on your heart.
Amen.
You know, here's the thing, guys. I got sisters in the church here who've got messages on their heart, and they're not called to preach toward men. But if I call some of the sisters up here, right now, they'd be able to preach to the sisters
Come
and
on.
have a message in their heart.
Yeah.
We just got to get the men to step up and have a message in their heart to preach the word.
Amen.
Come on.
And not worry about, hey, I need 3 weeks notice in order to be able to do it. You got to put the message on your heart.
Amen.
You don't need 2 weeks notice to preach the word.
Yeah.
Preach what's in your heart.
Yeah.
Amen.
That's what discipleship. See, guys, that's sold out.
Yeah.
Amen.
Amen.
Are you sold out, brothers and sisters? Jesus was completely sold out. He challenged the people to the point that they were ticked off. You know, guys, we've made a vow to God. Look over at Ecclesiastes chapter 5.
I'm
gonna close out here.
right there, bro.
Ecclesiastes chapter 5. We've all made a vow to God. And I want to call you guys to continue to really hold on to that vow that you've made.
Amen.
Because I think it's so easy to forget about the vow that we made and forgot. Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 4 and 6. The Bible says, when you make a vow to God, do not delay to fulfill it. He has no pleasures in fools. Fulfill your vow. It's better not to make a vow than to make one and not fulfill it.
Yeah.
Do not let your mouth lead you into sin, and do not protest to the temple messenger, my vow was a mistake. Why should God be angry at what you say and destroy the work of your hands? Much dreaming and many words are meaningless. Therefore, fear God.
Amen.
Brothers and sisters, that's it. We've got to fear God. When you make a vow, God, you do not delay and fulfill it. When you make a vow to go after your special missions, you go after. When you make a vow that you're going to take care of a responsibility, like bring the food assignment that you're supposed to bring so that there's enough food for everyone to eat, you bring that food in the house. Not only spiritual food, but you need to bring food. How would you like to come to a wedding banquet? And you walk in, your car stopped on the road, you had to fix your flat tire, and you come in and there's no more food left
Good.
because someone did not bring in their food assignment. See, brother, we're family. You know, from where I come from, you better bring that food. And you better not eat all that food. Ain't that right, Sharice? Ain't that right? Where we come from, you better not eat all that food. You eat all that food, we're gonna have a little power time. You gotta make sure you got enough food.
Amen.
You know, that's bottom line. Amen? But we gotta make sure we have enough spiritual food. And you're only gonna have enough spiritual food if you're reading the Bible and you're praying every day. Amen?
Amen.
I appreciate the fired up servant of God we have in the church. You know, I got Jay, who just came over from Miami, who's doing awesome. He's coming in and doing his part. He is sold out. The guy has come in and he has taken over the media world.
Amen.
He's helped us out with pictures and Facebook and all that stuff so that the world knows that we're here in Tampa, right? You know, I appreciate Anna. She's radical change. She's like looking at me like, me, really? No. Yeah, Anna had issues with, fundraising. She was challenged by it because, whatever was in her heart. But some of the sisters got in there, worked with her, helped her out.
Amen.
And now Anna's like, man, I'm ready to go sell water today. I'm going to go out. We found our spot. And we need to go sell some what? Single mom, 2 kids, and she he's repentant. It's awesome to see that.
Amen.
You know what I mean? I'm fired up about, always fired up about the St. Pete sisters.
Come on.
You know, these sisters are relentless when it comes to the mission. They are relentless when it comes to the mission. They get out there, they don't care, they do it on their own. They get out there, they sell ice cream. Ice cream, guys, I'm gonna tell you, those lollipop ice cream, those are big hits, guys. Those things are selling like hotcakes. If you are trying to raise special mission, you better talk to these sisters, find out about the lollipops, the frozen lollipops, and get out on the beach. You can literally do your fundraiser doing just selling lollipops. I'm telling you, ice cream freezes, whatever you call it. And all flavors, you know what I mean? Flavor, right? Right. So guys, there are ways to do it. The sisters are awesome. They're always an encouragement, and I just want to commend you, sisters, for, The sisters are sold out there. And then, we're sold out in loving our spouse, and and husbands and wives. I mean, we don't have many marriages here. We're just praying and begging God for at least, and eventually maybe this year we'll have one, or two, I don't know. We just, you can only give it to God, right? Are you sold out? See, guys, we got to be sold out. Listen, Jesus was sold out. His disciples were sold out, even though they fell away and came back. And we've got to be sold out to the cause, guys.
Amen.
Bottom line.
Amen.
You've made a vow before God. Let's continue to keep that vow before God. Okay?
Amen.
To God be glory.
Amen.